Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
Hey, bud.
Hey. Episode 102.
102.
102.
Yep.
2 weeks until,
The extravaganza.
yeah, and we need to start doing stuff for that because we hadn't done anything.
I've reached
yet.
out to some people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. So how was your...
I was too busy to reach out to people.
Because we were cutting down a tree.
Cutting that daggum tree down
That was only
here.
2 days.
2 days? That's a bunch of days.
So for everybody who doesn't know...
That's 2 long days.
We cut down a huge pecan tree in my backyard.
Yep.
That was right next to my house.
Touched his house.
Yeah, touching.
Literally
my house.
touched your house.
Yeah, that's why we had to get rid of it, and it couldn't have went smoother.
You want to know how old that tree is?
Oh yeah. You looked it up, or you counted the rings, or
I
whatever?
counted the rings. I took a picture of it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's 49.
49. So it would have been a little tree when they built this place in '95. It would have been a pretty small tree.
28 years ago.
Yeah.
Half its life. It would have been half the size. It would have
What
been
did you say it was 40?
It's 50 years old.
It's 50. Okay.
Yeah, 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dead now.
Yeah.
Won't make it to 50.
No, unfortunately.
But it was probably half the size, so it was a foot away from the house.
Yeah, and they didn't think any.
It was probably
didn't
nice
think anything.
shade. It was shady.
It was nice shade when
Yeah.
we had it, but
Yeah.
when you're pulling up concrete and touching the side of the house, funny thing, I've had 2 people reach out to me about taking down trees in their yard since. Like they saw, I put like an Instagram story
Yeah, I
of
saw
us
it.
taking
I was
down
in
a
it.
tree. And I've had 2 people reach out and be like, how far do you go? Are you licensed and insured and all this other stuff? I was like, well, sorry, it was kind of a joke. Like, if you want me to come look and price out,
Yeah.
we'll,
What kind of tree is it?
yeah, we'll come. How close to the house is it?
Is there any property nearby?
Yeah, shoot.
If not, we can I'll
Yeah.
take us all to it.
Shoot, yeah. If it's out in the middle of a field, call me.
Yeah.
That
It's
ain't
already leaning down a hill.
Yeah.
We can chop that thing up.
But,
And we'll take it.
So we might be going into the tree service
Yeah.
here
So
pretty
if
soon. It was
anybody needs-
actually a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that you don't do very often.
Well, I didn't get up in the box truck though, so
The
I was just
bucket,
doing
yeah.
manual labor the whole time.
Yeah, I would.
I got to burn
probably-
up a bunch of brush.
I would probably have rather been on the ground. Being in the bucket's not fun
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't throwing a party down on the ground, so yeah.
But it's like it's one of those things. It's like, man, this.
Yeah.
If I had to do it every day, I'd probably hate it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
doing it once every so often.
After we did it, scrolling through Instagram, there was one of a guy up somewhere. He cut the top of this tree, and he's strapped in
Yeah.
eight ways to Sunday. And he cuts the top off of this tree, and he's got a GoPro on his head, and it falls through a cloud and disappears.
Somebody's vaping on the ground.
And
Huh?
yeah, it must have been yeah.
Yeah.
But literally drop, and it's like a Christmas tree size
Yeah.
top of this tree through a cloud, disappears.
I saw one recently where he was cutting the top of the tree. It was like a palm tree. I guess the sap or whatever caught on fire. The whole tree by the end of it was on fire. He was like climbed up the tree, and so he's trying to like shimmy back down.
Dang.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. And the top that fell out also was on fire. So he was climbing down the fiery tree into fire. It's like, man, it's
How
more
did it
dangerous than I
catch?
thought.
What caught?
I guess just friction, man.
Got hot enough.
Yeah.
No chain oil. Didn't have no bar hole on it.
Yeah, could have been. But yeah, so if you need a tree cut down in your yard,
Yeah,
let us
text
know.
him. We'll see.
Yeah, if it's easy enough, I'll do it.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna get the government involved.
I don't have any paperwork.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's best that.
If you want unpaperwork to work
Yeah, if you want unlicensed, uninsured
under the
tree
table.
work under the table, we got you.
Yeah.
Venmo me.
Yes. I'm intrigued by this next topic.
Yeah, so
This is right up my alley. Unless it's a joke or
It's not.
something.
It's
okay.
not.
So
No,
I
no.
don't need okay.
So there's actually I've went down like a kind of a TikTok rabbit hole recently this week.
Good.
And I found there was one thing that I found very interesting, and one is like a brand new thing that I don't even know if you've heard about it. And it's not a joke.
Okay.
It sounds like it's setting up a
I
joke.
know.
But so in the letters to the church after Jesus died, do you know why they were... I'm trying not to act like this is a joke. It's not. There were certain things that, like, in those letters that I always found, like, a little off. Like, one of them's like, slaves obey your master. That seems like kind of like out of what you would think would be the biblical narrative. Do you know why they said that?
Like, are you talking like figuratively or like why they actually
Why
said?
they actually said that?
Because it was voluntary slavery.
So this was from a biblical scholar that I read this week. Is the disciples thought that Jesus was coming back immediately.
Yeah.
And so in their minds, large scale change wasn't going to be affected because they were thinking like 2 years. Jesus, I mean, because he came back in 3 days the first time. So
They all thought it was immediate.
they thought it was immediate. And so
or going to be soon.
that is like when you read through the New Testament with that type of context, it's really interesting to see like the change in my mentality from some of that stuff. Cause I always like would read through like, hey, slaves, be obedient to your masters. Hey, love everybody. And it's like,
Yeah.
why we got slaves if we're loving
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm also not in it. Yeah.
sorry.
I assume he was watching a farm animal video. I don't know what that was. Well, we could get in trouble talking about this. So I heard it put this way one time. This isn't necessarily what you're saying, so I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it just made me think of this. That Paul, we all know Paul, wrote 2/3 of the New Testament during a time where Christians were getting used as lanterns.
Yeah.
He didn't write about it once.
Right about what? Oh, the persecution?
And like, all right, we need to band together and force change. It's just, hey, we need to get as many people into heaven as possible.
Yeah.
And so then the guy that was saying that brought up a point because he was like, I don't even know how to get around this. And this is my thought. I don't even know how to explain my thought.
Yeah.
Then like, was Martin Luther King Jr. in the wrong? Like he was worried about the social stuff going on. Paul wasn't worried about the stuff going on. He didn't try and make change within politics in Rome
Because he thought it was going to be so.
but possibly. So I just what you said made me think of what I'd
Yeah.
and that also that kind of changed the way I like the term we're straightening chairs on the Titanic. That's what a lot of this seems like it is.
Yeah.
Is we're getting everything real organized on a sinking ship. And it's like I think we need to be getting people like in Titanic, the guys that keep playing music. That's the stupidest thing. I get it because they're trying to keep everybody calm and you might as well, but that's the stupidest thing to me.
Yeah.
To just like let's keep playing.
Yeah. Well, and some people like through the comments, I was reading through the comments on that, and it's somebody brought up an interesting point that was I wonder why Christian evangelicals, maybe this is the reason they don't worry about things like climate change, fossil fuel depletion, and pandemics is because they're like,
this ain't
we're
my
gone,
home.
and
This ain't
or we're gone in 10 years or what, like
or whatever.
40 years. We're not going to be here long enough. Jesus is coming back. Because that's been, I mean, since I've been in church, which has been 32 years, is Jesus is coming back.
Yeah.
And it's like soon. and it's like it's always like
Yeah.
it could be this year, guys.
Yeah, you don't really hear many traveling speakers say like it's going to be a while.
Yeah, it might be a minute before Jesus comes back.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Let's get climate change under control.
But like also, like there's crazy stuff that you don't need to be doing.
Yeah,
That's like obvious, but like I'm not changing the oil in a rental car.
yeah,
So like all this stuff going on, especially the social stuff where like your feelings are hurt. I can't be wasting time. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I mean,
This is not my place.
So, yes, but we should always be good stewards
Definitely.
of the
It
things
tells
that
us
that we're given.
Yeah.
So we've been given this earth to
We're
live
stewards
on.
of
We
the
should
planet.
be.
That's why I said there's some serious egregious thing. Like, don't pour bleach in a pond. Like, there's obvious stuff. And like, but the long term stuff that it's just not important. I don't know.
It's not important to you.
No, to me, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna add to the hurt any more than anybody, I guess. But like, this isn't where I don't care about this place.
Yeah. So another like rabbit trail that I went down this week, it's in the same vein. Do you know that most rabbis like in the Jewish community don't think that Moses existed?
I've never heard that.
Okay. So it is like a pretty widely known fact. And there's some biblical scholars as well that believe that Moses didn't write the New Testament. But that being said, there's been an archaeological find.
Every time they
this
find
week.
something else in the dirt, it validates the Bible.
Yeah.
Every time.
And so this is essentially like a tablet that they found. They're calling it the cursed tablet. They found it at Mount Ebal.
This is the one that cracked? That was a rock. Never mind. Pardon me.
So Mount Ebal is where Joshua essentially sent the two, like split the two. Like these are the cursed people, these are the okay people. And the people who are at Mount Ebal were the cursed people. They're calling it the cursed tablet. They are assuming that it was 1200 BC.
So
Is
yeah,
around
it's about,
when this was made, which
we're
would
in the time
prove
frame.
that the Israelites were literate when they entered the Holy Land.
Yeah, they were literate.
And they also how long is this article? Kind of long.
What did they think that?
Well, in this
sorry.
article, this would put, I think, 1,000 years older than any other reference to the Hebrew God. Then, like this would date anything that has the Hebrew God on it by 1,000 years. And so this is like pushing the timeline back for the Bible, like essentially to say like, well, this stuff could be true too. And it's the thing, what it said on the inside,
The actual tablet?
the actual tablet, yeah, because they went through. And what's even funnier is this was actually like in the junk pile, when they went through Mount Ebal and
Excavated it.
excavated it the first time. We recovered 40 letters, 40 on the inside and outside of the tablet. So this is what it says: cursed, 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 cursed by the God Yahweh. You will die cursed. Cursed you will surely die. Cursed by Yahweh. Cursed, cursed, cursed. And so that would line up with the fact that these were the cursed
story.
people. Yeah, and so
In that area.
it's a pretty.
Yeah.
It's a pretty significant find. It
Dude.
hasn't been peer reviewed yet, so
Sure.
there is a lot of like leeway in this.
Mm-hmm.
But
They don't find stuff in the dirt anymore that doesn't add to our side.
yeah,
It just doesn't happen.
and
Why is that surprising? It shouldn't
Shouldn't
be.
be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be if you're a Christian.
It's like we think this happened, right?
Yeah.
So there's rocks with words on them that say the same
say the
thing
thing, yeah.
that people that don't believe in it are picking up.
It's crazy though that like they're saying, okay, well, essentially they couldn't find anything that was dated far enough back that would show that Moses could have written his portion of the Bible, and so maybe this whole portion, like the Torah, is just like a parable, or it's this or it's that, and so now we've got something that's dated around the time, and it's the earliest writings of the Hebrew word God, and it's like lining up with the biblical stuff.
Yeah.
So
Some scholars say Job's the same way. That's
Yeah.
a story.
that is a parable instead of a
Either way,
either way. This is a interesting little question that somebody posted recently was if there was solid evidence that came out that Jesus didn't die and rise in 3 days, and like none of that portion of it happened, would that change your faith at all? And I think that would be a pretty big change as far as like if that was a parable and that was
yeah.
but anything before that.
Well, the Old Testament has a bunch of parables in it.
Yeah.
The New Testament, it's a
Exactly.
historical document.
If anything in the Old Testament was parable.
Well, there's a whole section that is parables. Some scholars think
That the rest of it is too.
some of it is. Not all of it, but I was just saying
King
the
Saul
Job
and all that stuff
story
was
specific, like David's real, Solomon's real, but and again, this doesn't matter, but suppose maybe Job is just a story that got passed down, not an actual person. Sure.
That's fine. Yeah.
Either way.
It doesn't mean that the teaching is any less valuable.
Batman's still cool.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Batman,
Really?
speaking of superheroes,
Yeah.
do you want to head this one up?
Sure, I'm very passionate about this.
Okay, go for it. I noticed there was a lot of passion last night when it was being talked about.
Well, yeah, and we talked about it at small group Tuesday, but we are done with Disney.
Yeah. Y'all.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Deckers.
Yeah.
And then and there's some people that still have no idea what we're talking about. So, reverse.
That was a horrible reverse.
I hadn't heard of tape going reverse in a while. Oh, okay.
There you go.
I was going V, like cassette.
That would be like,
Well, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
Anyway,
I got you.
yeah.
I've got it.
I
for you.
admit I didn't do a good job.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So from there,
So we can move on now.
yeah. And anyway, so
Yeah.
that Disney stuff. The people in charge of Disney have made it very clear that they're going to do everything in their power to indoctrinate our children with LGBTQ, all that. Normalize it, teach it as fine. You should it's even cool to look
that
to
way,
explore it. And we're just done.
Yeah.
And so you get
They're wanting like 50% of their.
well, it at least half of all characters going forward are going to be on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
LGBTQ AI.
So okay, if I say spectrum, I'm talking about that one, not the autism one.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not going to say that many
Yeah.
letters. in a
Over
row.
50% of this podcast is on the spectrum.
Yeah, a spectrum, some spectrum.
The spectrum. The real spectrum.
Anyway, so we just decided, and so you get the
This
What
was
about
in a leaked. This was in a leaked Zoom call, by the way,
by the yes
from Disney,
and
Yeah.
you can find them all
find
over
it
the
on-
internet.
yeah.
We're not. There's no tinfoil hats here. This isn't
Yeah.
us speculating what Disney's going to do. They flat out said it. And so when you be like, well, Coke, boop, boop, boop. Okay, well, Coke didn't just say they're going to make sure half the people that hand my kid a Coke are trying to teach them to be on the LGBTQ spectrum.
Okay, well, what about
I
companies.
got plenty of
I'm
defense
just,
for this.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm
asking a
passionate
question.
about it. Yes.
What about if there's a company that has a commercial, and the commercial has LGBTQ people like actively?
Yeah. And then at the end, that somebody's wearing a flag.
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Sure.
What about those? Are you?
I mean, I'm not happy about that.
I mean, it's a pretty
So I can,
big stance.
but so all of these companies are going to do what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, and me and Anna have talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
I don't give a rat's A about what anybody else thinks about what we do.
That's fine.
First
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
not in a fighting way,
I'm not sitting here trying to.
not in a fighting way.
I'm not trying to.
I don't give a rip
Yeah.
if somebody thinks, well, that's stupid.
I'm not trying to get you on my side.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to get me on your side.
No, we have
we
from the defense of, and so what are the different options? You've got, well, just teach your kids yourself. I hear you. We're going to do that as much as the next person.
Yeah.
So what about other companies that promote the thing too? Are you going to stop buying everything that's
Yeah.
And then so that's like the main two arguments, or like people are like, that's a dumb idea because X or Y.
Yeah.
The one about like, you should teach just because that's what we think about public school. It's like, I'll send my kid to public school and then I'll teach them at home so they're not as impacted by the work. Right. Okay. So with that, if me and Anna make a stand that we're going to make sure Carolina doesn't get bit by a snake, and we teach her all about snake safety, and then we buy a cobra as a pet.
See, and this is where I'm gonna divert away from you.
Did what I just said make sense though?
To a degree, yes.
Okay.
Here's my side of
And
that.
I have no control over that cobra.
Yeah. Here's my side of that is growing up, I was the kid who couldn't watch anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. My parents didn't want me watching Smurfs or Scooby Doo or like everything. And it seemed like in that mind frame that they had from the church that we were going to was nothing's good. We have to hold everything to this extremely high standard. Like we talked about on the podcast a few weeks ago, I couldn't sit in my classroom and listen to Harry Potter being, and it's like Harry Potter's not turning anybody into witches and wizards,
Right.
and so I don't want my kids to grow up to be the like, well, today in class we're gonna watch the newest Disney movie. And then my kid has to go, well, I can't watch Disney because my mom and dad said I can't. And it's we're Christian.
Which movie?
And that's the thing is that's why for me, the like teaching your kids and like shielding your kids from certain things, I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to let my kids watch freaking 50 Shades of Grey
Right.
in my house.
Yeah.
But if they want to go watch Cinderella or they want to go watch Pocahontas, there's nothing like intrinsically to me that goes, no. You're not going to. And that's so.
You know what we're thinking about doing to navigate all this? Go get a DVD player. Go to the thrift store
So here
and get the old ones.
yeah. So I would probably get like Blu-ray or something so that you can watch the new stuff too. Then when it comes out,
No, but
There's
we're
not-
not doing that.
But there's okay. So you can't. But
No,
that's,
but
that's
how does that
cherry-picking.
how does that not make sense?
Because you're still purchasing those things from the company.
No, we're not. If we get them from the thrift store,
Okay. If you get them from the thrift store. But so that means no Disney movies at all. No Pixar movies.
prior to now,
Okay.
or post
Sure.
now,
Sure.
or post like last year.
Sure.
Yeah.
No Disney movies, no Pixar movies, no
Sure.
Marvel movies,
Okay,
no Star Wars movies.
who is this
No.
supposed to be difficult for? Me or the children?
Both. this would be difficult for.
I can't
I've
watch
gotta-
Star Wars?
I've got to go in there and tell my kid
I
he
didn't
can't
know I
watch.
couldn't watch
He can't
Star-
watch Spider-Man. That's his favorite character.
Okay, I'm in a situation where my kid's not in that
That's
situation.
fine. I'm explaining to you my side of it. Don't get upset at me for
I'm not
explaining
upset.
my side
Just
of it.
because we get loud doesn't mean we're upset. Because I'm not going to sit here and apologize every time I say something. So
I like those are things that I do care a lot about. I understand that you don't care a lot about them.
yeah,
I do care a lot about the Star Wars movies, the Marvel movies.
Sure.
Like not being able to watch the Avengers with my kid would it would be a bummer for me.
yeah, they can. I don't have a problem with those movies.
Well, those are Disney though.
Okay, so you're going one track.
No.
Yes, you
no,
absolutely are.
Disney. Disney.
I get
is,
that Disney owns Disney movies. I understand that.
Okay.
So I'm not paying money for them to indoctrinate children.
So you're talking about you're taking Disney Plus away. That's your
Yeah.
stance. Not that you're not going to watch the new Iron Man
Carolina's
if it comes out.
watching Beauty and the Beast right now.
Okay. I'm just saying. So your stance is we're stopping Disney
Going
Plus.
forward,
You're stopping Disney Plus,
yeah.
but not
I'm not gonna feed that monster.
okay. If Toy Story 5 comes out,
And so the new Buzz Lightyear movie,
Yeah.
has a bunch of gay people in it that kiss. We're not watching
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear.
okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But if there is, so
That's gonna be
they come out-
every movie
If they
going
come out with
forward.
a movie that isn't like that, though, you're just going to be like, no, we can't do that.
No, I mean I'd have to watch it and figure out
So that's where-
hey, that's way complicated for something that ain't that big a deal. So we're just gonna watch something else that
Or
we've
you
been
can just
watching.
look up a review on it online that
Could
has like
could.
says,
Yeah, I'll
hey, this
ask
is
you
okay.
because I know you'll watch it.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And I don't care if people watch Disney. I'm just not feeding that beast.
You're not watching Disney Plus. That's you're taking that subscription out of your role. It's
Yeah.
not that you're never going to watch another Disney movie. It's not that you're never going to watch another Marvel movie past this point in time. It's you're just taking Disney Plus away.
and
that
I
makes
can-
more sense
and
to me
I
than
absolutely can.
yeah.
Because I can say, oh, that's propaganda. Not, well, that's interesting. I can I can act like I can kiss girls or do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not just going to sit in my home and influence my children.
Okay, that's fine. I
Yeah.
like if it's hey, I'm taking Disney Plus away.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, that's why I
not
said
that
go
I'm
get a
gonna turn
DVD
blind
player.
eye to, but like not going to turn a blind eye to the next like the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out or the
Yeah, but I mean,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
But Carolina
3.
wasn't going to watch that anyway.
Yeah, not now.
I'm not going to go to the
Not at
theater
that
and
point.
pay money.
Well, you don't do that anyway.
I
so
know.
it's not that
I'm
big.
just not going to feed the beast.
Okay.
That doesn't mean my daughter can't watch Tarzan.
Okay.
Because
What if they come out with a new Beauty and the Beast that doesn't have any gay people in it?
if we watch it and vet it and it's cool, then yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
But
That's-
not through Disney. Like we'd have to,
You'd have to purchase it on Amazon Prime or
which
something.
that goes to Disney somehow. So I don't know. And this isn't thought out
yeah.
fully.
Y'all
I'm
just have to come over to our house to watch it.
if it's okay,
Yeah.
I'm just not feeding the beast with my money.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I can't follow Carolina to go on with the snake metaphor.
Yeah.
I can't follow her around looking for snakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I can be, I almost cussed. I can be dang sure they're not going to be sitting around the house.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I don't know if we got time to talk
If
about
they watch Cinderella at school, I don't have to go get her.
Yeah.
But if they want to watch Big Red at school or the Buzz Lightyear movie,
And that's where like it to me, like granted, I get like, hey, we're not paying for Disney Plus.
yeah.
But to just be like, and like we haven't watched the Red movie, Turning Red movie or whatever, because there were things in it that we didn't like,
Yeah.
and that's a reason for us to be like, yeah, we're not going to watch that. But to just be like, we're from here on out, we're not doing anything Disney. Like to me, that's like,
what you're that's what you grew up with, and that's not what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Those kids are weird.
yeah, exactly. That's where like,
Yeah. I vowed for my kids to not be weird.
Yeah.
That's one of like the few things I really care about is that they're socially acceptable.
yeah,
But not like social. I mean
yeah, I got what-
communication,
Yeah.
relationship.
Oh gosh, I don't know if we got enough time to talk about the second part of that.
Yeah.
because that's gonna go pretty long if I had to imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it another time, but just like to like speed, just as an overarching idea. There's a lot of like in the Christian community, there's a lot of like this stuff, like we're really coming against this stuff, or like alcohol. We're really like, we're passionate against alcohol. And it's like, well, why are you against alcohol? Well, it's addicting. Okay. Coffee
Right.
is, you could
Sugar.
You could probably say that coffee is more addictive than alcohol.
Depends on like not a chemical dependence. Not a dire dependence. No, you're not going to go into cardiac arrest because you don't have
not
some
gonna go into
coffee.
cardiac arrest
You
because you-
absolutely can die from detoxing from
drink.
alcohol. Yeah.
That's an extreme
Yeah, definitely.
into the spectrum.
Definitely.
But like, if you were to tell somebody who regularly drinks coffee, like, hey, you know, that's a vice in your life.
Yeah.
They'd be like, it's not hurting anybody. It is, because it's caffeine and it's pushing your body. It is.
Okay.
But it's just in the Christian world, we have these like, yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm not.
Just saying.
I'm not talking against this. I'm just saying,
You're
in
so
the
amped up you
Christian-
crush the can.
in the Christian community, we have these things that we're so like, oh, don't do this.
Yeah.
But then we're like, well, we got our
Sleeping with your
vices.
sister.
Is that good or bad?
They're the vices. The ones
Oh,
we're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
don't
bad.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stealing.
Can't do that. But, hey, I've got my vices. We're not going to talk about those.
So my mom, thank goodness she doesn't listen to the podcast because I'm gonna destroy this story.
Oh, gosh.
But at some point when I went off to college, my parents left the big church we grew up in and went to a smaller Assembly of God church.
Yeah, which is what I grew up in.
Like 3 minutes from our house in one of them old tin shed buildings.
yeah.
And everybody on stage was big as a truck.
Yeah.
And they had been going there for years. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had relationships with these people now. So she didn't just
Yeah.
like call out
You
the
better
pastor.
not drink, but
Well, but that's what she
Gluttony.
said. We were talking. She was talking about like they would go eat dinner or lunch after church with like it wasn't a very big church.
yeah,
And so she was
probably
like,
at Shoney's
but like,
or Ryan's. Or
and somebody it was a Mexican restaurant, Habaneros in Gardendale. It's great, but they're closed down by the way. But anyway.
They weren't that great.
COVID beat them. COVID beat them up. Anyway, she flat out was like, "You were talking about self-control. Look at everybody."
Yeah. Yeah. Let's self-control. That's the overarching, like, this is what you need to work on. Not don't drink,
Yeah,
don't consume
it's
caffeine.
self-control,
But self-control.
Yeah,
That's the hitting the ball down the center line.
Yeah.
Is this is what you need to worry about. Not this and that. And that is,
because all these specific things are symptoms of the self-control problem.
which is what I kind of like lump this Disney thing kind of into. Is not necessarily self-control, but like it is like we don't have to watch everything that Disney puts out. Because if they came out with something that was like went strictly against my morals, or
which is
my-
about to be every single thing Disney
Well,
puts out.
maybe.
You're
we
not
will
under
have
the
to see.
assumption that these people are
We will-
evil.
no,
so-
I'm just saying we will have to see in
Yeah.
the time. I can't say I can't. That's like me saying that
Yeah.
everything that Pastor Chris puts out for the next 10 years is going to be fantastic. Some stuff might suck. Some ideas might suck.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm gonna have to see when those things come out. I'm not gonna just go no.
Sure.
So speaking of churches.
See, I thought you were going to say it the other way. That like it's Disney's an addiction.
Oh, it is for some people, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, well, that means you got to give up ESPN, and that, so you're addicted to ESPN, and you're addicted to.
Well, and I think that's the
I thought that's where you were going with the combination.
Well, so the Disney stuff does tie into ESPN and it does tie into ABC because they're both owned by Disney.
Yeah.
And so if you say I'm not gonna feed the beast, then you also have to unsubscribe from any of the things that.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to you because you don't care about sports. You don't watch TV.
I love
you don't-
sports, but
not as much as you're not going to be.
Not
Like,
enough.
I'm not going to watch ESPN now.
not enough.
If like the
Yeah.
national championship was on, you'd be like, oh, I'll watch ESPN.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of church, we had a pretty in-depth conversation last week about Hillsong.
Me and you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
whole documentary.
Yeah, and we had somebody who disagreed with, and not necessarily disagreed, but like had another.
held Hillsong to task a little more than we did.
No, they just had different ideas about one of the things that we talked about, which
Good.
was the like the money portion of stuff. And this person says,
Can I preface this with I have no idea how Hillsong does their money.
yeah. So
Didn't mean to assume I did. I don't even know what we're talking about.
yeah.
So,
well,
yeah,
so
sorry.
like essentially with pastors and people like that having things that are
okay.
more than just normal. Like they didn't get those shoes at Gap; they got them at Dolce and Gabbana or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know, something fancy.
Yeah.
This person said it's a lot to text, but basically, I don't agree with the assumption that someone in ministry having wealth is a bad thing. If they're stealing money from the church, obviously that's wrong. However, if they build wealth through side hustles, i.e., buying real estate, writing books, or any other means that doesn't take money from the church, then I don't see a problem with them accumulating as much wealth as they can and buying the things that they want to buy. And like we were
For 99.9% of that, I totally agree.
Yeah, I didn't think that we weren't going to agree.
Yeah.
It was a very good point that we didn't bring up. We didn't talk about it at all last week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we did because we talked about like we don't know if those were gifted to them or
Yeah,
we
but-
kind of talked about it a little.
a little, but we didn't talk about like, hey,
The
it's okay
thought
for your
behind having
pastor to
money.
have a business.
I want
other
everybody
than-
on the planet that can hustle to hustle
Yeah,
and make as much money as they possibly can.
absolutely.
And as long as you're tithing 10% of it, I don't care if you tithe. If you want the money to grow,
Yeah.
and you tithe 10% of it, and the 90's yours, pal. I don't
well,
care.
and that's the like if your church is giving you a salary of $5 million a year,
Yeah.
A of all, that's a little excessive. B of all.
So the way with that, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, is you'll have pastors that are like, I haven't taken a salary from the church
Yeah.
in 5
But
years.
it's book sales and
But that's because you chose not to, not saying it was a point maker on stage.
Yeah.
That's why you did it. But like, because then the pastor down the street who makes the same amount of money in a year makes it from the church, but then like donates all of his book sales to stuff. So like, you're not cool because you
Yeah.
don't take a salary from the church. The Bible says take a salary from the church if you're a pastor of that church.
But if you're a pastor and you go out and you get like a 20 unit rental property
Yeah.
and you're just raking cash in left and right, hey, if you want to go buy your wife a Lamborghini,
Hey, you want the bet? No. Okay. So Paul was a tent maker the whole time he wrote the 2/3 of the New Testament. So he had a job, side hustle.
yeah,
He didn't say anything about how you're supposed to spend that money. But he does say, be a good steward and don't be a stumbling block
yeah,
and be wise with your finances.
sure.
But most of the Bible talk about money is tithe and save. If you're tithing and saving and you want to blow the rest of it, I don't think you should be talking to me about humility if your
Yeah.
wife's driving a Lamborghini. So, but that's the stumbling block thing.
Yeah,
Because it says that there too. Don't be a stumbling block if you can, because there's some things like, okay, if I couldn't be a stumbling block to anybody, I'm not going to leave the house.
Yeah.
But so if you decide, I don't know, $1,500 pair of shoes to go speak at a church that probably paid you a bunch, like it just,
yeah.
it's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
unless you're doing it for the look.
Here's the thing: is even if I was a billionaire,
Yeah.
I'm not spending money on those things. My wife might.
But I'm
not.
sure John Gray didn't say when he was fired up speaking in tongues, getting into the ministry, that like someday I'm gonna buy my wife a $500,000 car.
Yeah.
Because I can.
Yeah.
So it's not that like it's because I'm telling you, dude, you start stepping up the ladder, the rungs get real small and they get slippery and you're way off the ground.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fall.
More than likely.
And it seems like trying to stay super fashionable tends to follow with you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Tends to.
Which there were, and this is like kind of an update on the Hillsong stuff, is Brian Houston. There was some stuff that came out this past week about he had an inappropriate text with a woman
He texted
10 years ago.
He texted something stupid.
Yeah.
Not stupid, just not
That was
thinking
along the lines of, if I was there, I'd give you a hug and a kiss.
to somebody that's not his wife.
Yeah.
Who's a lady.
And then the other one was more recently, I think it was in 2020 or 2021, that he got drunk and ended up in some girl's hotel room that was like a staff member of the church.
Was
Both
she
of them were
there?
staff members. The girl that he texted.
Different people?
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said two different women.
Yeah.
Which
Was the staff
shouldn't be.
member like shook? The one that
I don't know.
was she upset? Or was she like, oh, Brian, get back to your room?
I don't know.
Not again.
It didn't
Brian.
go into that.
Yeah.
And that's
Fine.
I would imagine it would probably stay pretty tight lipped around there. But
Till Disney starts sniffing
yeah.
around.
Anyways, speaking of billionaires,
Oh, dang. I thought you were going to cut this. Woo. Elon Musk, anybody that's listening to this podcast knows he's growing on me.
yeah,
Which I did find out that Elon's mom is a part of one of these like Illuminati groups. So this could be a front to get in on the right side and tear it up from the inside. Just saying. Elon Musk is growing on me like a weed. A weed, not weed. A weed. So I'm a big Musk fan nowadays. He just bought the majority share, not majority shares, but the majority ownership of Twitter.
yeah,
And supposedly people on the right think he's going to come in and
clean house,
clean house.
change some stuff around.
Twitter abruptly released a statement saying shareholders have no decision-making skill, no decision-making.
Which has got to be false.
Yes, I think Twitter is smelling what Musk is cooking in there. I bet they're working on some paperwork right now to try and change the rules.
Probably so. But
Yeah.
if I was the major stakeholder in a company, I would assume that I have some
Yeah,
rights.
because he wouldn't have
Other
bought
than
it
just,
without
like-
some say.
Exactly.
Because you don't.
And that's what in shareholder meetings, like you have shareholder meetings,
Yeah,
And-
but like I don't think.
things get voted on, and as a member, okay. Back it up a little bit. I have voting power in Tesla because I have share stock in Tesla. My vote matters as much as I have ownership in Tesla.
Yeah.
So if I have 2 shares and there's 3 million shares out there, I have 2 shares worth of voting power. And so if Elon Musk
if it's set
has
up that way, or
9%,
that's all of them.
that's, I would imagine, a majority of them. And I mean,
can't believe
at
Twitter sold him that.
from one of the things that I read, and this could be completely wrong.
I'd love to say that.
this was
see
kind
that he
of done
like.
under the table, that they weren't aware that he was buying such a large stake. He was acquiring shares from other people.
So he accumulated it.
He accumulated it since like February or something.
So to tie into that, I'm sure that's real. because to tie into that, a couple months ago, I don't know how they got him to come to the podcast, but he was on the Babylon Bees podcast.
It was a good episode too. If you haven't watched it,
it was funny because the first thing they asked was like, "Are you a born again Christian?" or whatever.
Well, it was
not the first thing they asked him, but they asked him that just point blank.
Yeah,
and he talked for like 10 minutes about being a good person, all that. But supposedly they were like, "I'll read you the thing."
Babylon Bee is currently blocked from
on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he went on their podcast, and apparently they hit it off because Seth Dillon is the CEO of the Babylon Bee. Or he's one of the top guys at Babylon Bee. Anyway, he said Musk reached out to us before he polled his followers about Twitter's commitment to free speech. He wanted to confirm that we had in fact been suspended. He even mused on that call that he might need to buy Twitter. Now he's the largest shareholder and has a seat on the board. So, around all this same time, he did a poll on Twitter saying, "Do you think Twitter upholds the First Amendment?" And 70% said no.
Yeah.
And then he bought 9.7% of Twitter.
Yeah.
And and checked with these guys to make
Beforehand.
sure. Yeah. So it seems like
maybe he's
going to clean house.
Yeah.
And that's a good point that Twitter can say whatever they want right now, like with their statements about whatever. He didn't agree to buying that much of it without a voice.
If I have 53% ownership, we'll say if it's between me and you two, or me and you, the two of us, if I have 60% of your company and you have 40% of the company, what I say matters.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy who owns a majority of the company.
Yeah.
Right now, he is the largest stakeholder.
Yeah.
So he owns more of the company than anybody else.
Yeah.
So what he says matters.
Yeah. He owns 1/10 of it.
Yeah. But maybe it's just all a big illusion.
Or it's just, he just wanted more money. I can buy Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to buy Twitter.
Yeah.
Why not? And he really does care about the First Amendment and like being able to say what you think.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens. Also, don't give a rip because I haven't had a Twitter since I was like a freshman in college.
Yeah. I don't use it ever.
No.
But yeah.
I think it'd be cool. We'll see.
Could all be a massive illusion.
Oh, speaking of illusions. I hear you.
Okay. Come on.
All right. Optical illusion reveals if you have a female or male brain.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to watch it together. I have not.
It's a video?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just watch it for a few seconds, though.
Okay.
And I haven't read to see. So you're trying to see if the person is if they're running away from you or towards you.
Okay.
And I don't know which one what means right yet. Hold on, I'm make it big. Ah. So that wasn't the right video. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I know it.
Freaking unprofessional.
It's just a picture. Is he running towards you or away from you?
Looks like he's running away.
I said towards. And I don't know what that means yet. So what did you say? Away? And I said towards?
Yeah.
So that means, in this case... So what does it mean if you saw the runner approaching? Like me. According to this article, it means you have more male brain.
Of course. You knew it.
No, I didn't.
You were watching that video.
No, I didn't.
Stop.
I'm serious. I didn't.
That's fine. That's fine. I know the truth, and God does too.
So for
Because you started that video and you went, oh,
it
and
wasn't
then
a
you turned
video.
it away.
It was a picture.
You started that video at the top of it, and you went, and then turned it away from you.
I didn't do that.
You did.
Or I did do that, but it wasn't mysterious.
Oh.
I was trying to stop. I
couldn't
saw the
watch
video.
it.
You want to watch the video?
No.
See? Exactly.
Friggin' talk.
You try. Okay.
So you got a male dominant brain, I got a female brain.
Yeah. So for those who saw the figure hightailing it away from you, it means you have a more feminine brain. This suggests your analytical skills and reasoning are at a max. At a max? Okay, you don't like having reasoning skills at a max? You rely on your senses and reasoning,
This
and you
is
don't.
yours, not mine.
No, hightailing it away from you.
Oh, you've got more reasoning skills?
No, you do.
That's what I'm saying.
As a woman. That's what it says.
Doesn't seem accurate.
You said that was Josh. Hightailing it away from you, female brain. You rely on your senses and reasoning and don't rush when making a decision.
Okay.
You're a great multitasker.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how they get all that from which way it's running.
Yeah.
But see what you think.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, that wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I'm sorry.
So you have a would you rather?
It's the world's best would you rather.
Oh gosh. So we can't do any more after this then.
Well, we can. This is the bar to which all would you rathers is set.
Yeah.
Going forward. I don't know if you're ready for it. All right. Would you rather have everything in your life, showers, weather, food, drinks, be hot or cold? All of them. Anything that could have a temperature,
Yeah.
but not like your phone because it's 1,000 degrees, but like if stuff could be hot or cold, it's either always hot or always cold.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to drink like hot Coke. Or you got to take cold showers. I know my answer.
So
I'm a cold guy.
this is something about me that
Yeah.
you might not know. I like all of my food hot and I like all of my drinks cold. I can't stand like
Lukewarm anything?
no, not even that. Like, hey, you know what we should drink tonight? Hot cider.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. You know what we should have? Hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Get that out of my face.
Or just, I'm going to wake up and drink hot bean water.
If I have to drink anything hot, I'm not a fan. Like, everybody thinks it's cool. Let's all go get hot chocolate. Like, why do I want to drink something hot?
So yours is done already.
That you can't drink anything something can't be too cold to drink, but it can't be too hot to drink.
Oh, yeah.
It's always too hot to
So
drink.
what are you picking?
You mean I got to eat a steak
Cold. Or hot steak and a hot Dr. Pepper.
I guess I'm going
cold.
hot.
I'm going cold, baby.
I got to eat cold pizza. That's
You
the
gotta
worst
drink-
kind of pizza.
Hey, oh man, you just cut the grass? Here's a glass of hot water.
Guess I'm going to have to deal with it.
Oh my
I
God.
need hot food, man. I need hot food. I need hot food. I can't be eating cold food all the time. I don't like leftovers. What are leftovers other than cold food?
Have fun with that hot tea.
I'm going to have to because this is my bed and I'm lying in it.
Man, that's fine. I get it from that perspective, but there's no chance I'm drinking hot stuff. I can eat cold and I can be cold. You also have to be hot all the time. It's hot.
Yeah, I'll deal with it. I got to eat my food hot, man. I can't have taco soup and it be cold.
Okay.
That-
What are you
it makes me sick thinking about it.
What are you going to wash
honestly.
that taco soup down with?
I guess
More
hot-
soup?
A hot
Because that's all
Dr.
you.
Pepper.
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Look, I'm just telling you what I got to do to live my life.
Yeah.
So this is just like a weird fact that like
We had 3 of those last week. I like it.
you probably
Weird
hadn't
fact.
thought of ever, but now you have to think about it all the time.
All right.
Your bones are wet right now.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Soaking wet.
That's gross.
Everything's wet.
It's gross.
Your heart's wet. Your
Everything's
brain's wet.
Your poop's wet.
Wet. DT's wet.
Mine's wet all the time.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a hard one in a long time.
Yeah.
So this is another interesting fact, I guess. So if there were a basketball tournament between every living human being,
Are we doing another bracket challenge?
no, that lasted way too long.
Lasted
I was
half 6 months.
so tired of that. If there was a basketball championship,
Yep.
bracket style, that it was 1-on-1, everybody on the face of the planet, the eventual champion would only have to play 33 games.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Hold on. Are we assuming there's 7 billion?
Yeah, sure.
7 billion.
And then you're gonna half that 33 times.
I just want to see what it looks like. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just to do 10, you're down to less than 7 million people,
Yeah,
which is like Alabama.
probably. I don't
You
know.
beat 10 old ladies in basket, or 10 quadriplegic
and you're
collegiate
you're
Indians.
better than
You're down to 7 million.
you're better than 8.5 billion people.
Yeah. 6.5. Well, I did it off of 7, so almost 7 billion.
Almost 7 billion people.
Yeah.
You beat 10 people.
11, 12.
Let's keep looking at it.
If you
Don't-
just beat
keep it
if
for
you
yourself.
beat 12 people,
You're down to 1,000,007. And
Yeah.
that's gonna drop to
that's 12.
yeah.
13,
Keep going.
14, 15, 200,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20 gets you 6,000.
Mm-hmm.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And you win your 33rd game and you beat everybody.
Imagine if it was just a bunch of toddlers you had to like dunk on.
Yeah.
Because there's a very good chance that
Well, but when you get down
they
to
would.
those,
Yeah.
you're playing NBA players
maybe.
at the end.
Maybe.
Unless they play each other somewhere.
Yeah.
But you're really the
And
last
then some just lucky hook shot. Some
Gam Payton would have wind up in the top 500
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Is that not crazy though?
Yeah, I didn't believe it, so that
Yeah.
was cool.
It's a
For all you that don't watch, sorry.
it's a Twitter or not Twitter TikTok thing that's going around that it's a stitch this with the fact that you found so crazy that you had to Google to make sure it was true, and that was one of them. Was
I like it.
the other one, and this wasn't on my list, but do you know what happens if you hold a fart in?
Nope.
It becomes a burp.
It worked its way back up.
It gets absorbed it gets absorbed back into your bloodstream and then eventually comes out.
Could it come back out as another fart later?
I'm sure it could.
Okay. So it just, that air comes out somehow.
Yeah. But if you hold all your farts in, then all your farts become
It'll
burps.
swell up like that girl in Willy
Yeah.
Wonka that turned into a blueberry.
I don't like holding in farts.
That's not good for you.
I'm a strong proponent of if you get a fart.
Let it go.
Yeah.
If you need another minute or two, I got one more would you rather. That's not bad.
I mean, we don't need it, but if you just want to, that's fine.
You giving up sugar or salt? Have we done this before?
I don't think we've done this one.
Sugar or salt? All of it. And really, it's more like no more sweet or no more salty. Because, like, I can't take sugar out of bread.
Yeah.
But you don't
I
taste
would
it.
say salt. I'd give up salt because sugar is a pretty like major component of a lot of things, and salt is just a let's enhance the taste of whatever this is.
Yeah.
It's not a
But, like, if you take salt, if you say like, I'll keep salt, getting rid of sweet. Steak doesn't taste different because the sugar's out of it.
Well,
That's what I meant as
if
like-
you really like steak, then it shouldn't take away the steak flavor either.
But so basically, change it to: are you giving up the taste buds for sweets on your tongue or for salty on your tongue?
oh, so it's not getting rid of salt.
Yeah, it just
From
which
recipes.
flavor are you getting rid of? You can never taste anything salty again, or you can never taste anything sweet.
I'd probably do sweet then, because
Give it up or keep it.
I'd probably give up sweet.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different.
That's what I meant with just the taste.
Because like if you just get rid of all the salt,
That's why I
in
said
my
like
life,
I can't
don't
take
care.
sugar out of bread. So,
Yeah.
but like the flavor,
Yeah,
I couldn't live without salt. I don't think.
that's what. If I could,
And like you still stuff has salt in it, you just don't taste it. So you're not like nutrient deficient.
yeah,
If I didn't have the taste of sweets, I'd never touch them, and I'd be better for it.
yeah, probably.
Definitely, because
Because what would something that's like what would ice cream taste like? Cream?
it wouldn't be worth eating,
Yeah, maybe.
especially if it still like gave you the calories.
Yeah, I was
and
about
stuff.
to say how many things would I just like?
I would quit drinking soda.
Eminently be against if they didn't have sugar in it.
Yeah, soda.
Yeah,
Like you drinking seltzer water? No, I'd be better for it. Sugar. See you, sugar. I'll be way better.
it sounds like you were saying goodbye to an old lover.
Yeah.
See you, sugar.
See you, sugar. That's what I told Anna before I left to come
Yeah.
here.
Well, that's episode 102.
102.
Yeah,
It was good.
it was good.
I'm looking forward to 104.
Yeah, we got to set it up.
Yeah.
We got literally a week to do it.
We got 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
This is Thursday. You've got full next week.
And then when we shoot it, so a week and a half.
Yeah.
All right, we better get to work.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you
Okay.
guys for letting us into your hearts and minds and your places of work and your homes.
And your butts.